Get rid of this thing here. I hate the glare. I hate the glare, but at the same time, it helps with the camera, so it's not shaking up too much. Man, I haven't been on here in a minute. I apologize, y'all. Been about a week since I did any content. Um, kind of wanted to take a break from the whole thing, honestly, and I'm still stuck in contemplation about how serious I want to take the channel, whatnot. But well, it finally happened. It finally happened. Per Adam Schefter, I believe, Carson Wentz got traded to the Indianapolis Colts for a third this year and a conditional second next year. Um, that conditional second round pick could turn into a first so long as Carson Wentz plays 75% of the snaps for the Colts, or if the Colts make the playoffs, that percentage would drop down to 70. Well, I guess that's it for the Wentz saga in Philly. Man, I don't know. I don't know what much more. I don't know what much more I can say about it. I mean, what I can say is that it was kind of easy to see. I mean, we had to anticipate Carson going to the Colts no matter what. It didn't matter. So, I mean, what this tells me is that in the end, it didn't matter what other teams were in play. This was all about where Carson wanted to go. And I mean, at the end of the day, Carson had the leverage to go where he wanted to go. Um, you know, I mean, people want to talk about him being a baby or whatever, and I don't get it because I mean we see this happen in the NBA. No one bats an eye for the most part. We see this with other players in the NFL going where they want to go. Nobody really bats an eye. So this is the same scenario with Carson. I mean, it is what it is. But if I'm thinking about it at the same time in the back of my mind, I have to imagine that you know how long how long have the Colts been in play, and yet Howie decided to wait this long to trade him. People are talking about Carson being a baby, but if the Colts had a better initial offer on the table earlier in the trade process, why didn't Howie take it? Why did he wait this long to get rid of Carson? Is anybody talking about that? That's what I want to know. Why did Howie wait this long to trade Carson, especially if the Colts had a better offer initially on the table than they did? Then again, we don't know. We don't know. Especially, I mean, maybe the Bears had a better offer, but at the end of the day, like I said, this was about where Carson wanted to go, and I mean, it is what it is, and this is barring at the moment. This is barring any contract restructuring. So we just don't know, but yeah, wow, crazy though. Well, I guess we can look forward to Jalen Hurts, seeing what he can do as the quarterback going forward. So long as we don't draft another one early in the first or second round, maybe even the third. I mean, at the moment, I don't think Jalen Hurts has a backup. Um, unless they decide to keep Nate Sudfeld, which, in my opinion, I hope they don't. He's been on this roster for how long, and he's had the chance to be a backup, barring injury, and he got beat out by Nick Foles. He got beat out by Josh McCown. So I don't trust him as a backup. But either way, that's kind of all I got. I mean, I guess I'm happy for both sides. From the standpoint of the Colts, this is quite a future that they have to place a mortgage on. They're taking on a quarterback who last year had a massive regression, and Frank Reich thinks that he can dig that MVP caliber quarterback back out of Carson again, and they had to make this move, and they're taking a risk, especially moving on from guys like Andrew Luck, and Andrew Luck ended up retiring. Jacoby Brissett, um, Philip Rivers was just there, and they made the playoffs. So I mean, Carson's Carson's got a good team around him in Indy, and very good offensive line that's stable. The weapons are there, so long as they can retain some of their players that they could lose to free agency. I know Marlon Mack is a free agent. I think T.Y. Hilton may be a free agent. Um, he's either a free agent or he's got 1 year left. So, um, yeah, I mean, as of right now, Carson's in a more stable. He's in a more stable organization, and this is ultimately what he wanted. What's best for his family, and I don't know. I guess that's all I got for it. But I guess in the coming days, um, makes a lot of us happy now, especially that our mock drafts mean something since we know who the quarterback is for the moment. It's a little more concrete than Carson, so um, mock drafts will make more sense and just going forward. So Jalen Hurts is already on a good start. He's getting work in with his receivers. He's touching the he's touching the community of Philadelphia and the city. That donation that he made um, to that one family that I can't remember off the top of my head, but so seems Jalen Hurts is doing all the right things to establish himself as a franchise quarterback, and showing that um, it's that some parts of it are bigger than football, and but this guy is a winner. Like he wants to be a winner in this league, like Carson was coming from North Dakota State. They share that same mentality, and I hope going into year two that Jalen Hurts is going to make his biggest jump as a second round pick who definitely has the first round talent is there. I know that for a fact, but I just hope that we I just hope that we see it from him and that it comes out, and Brian Johnson, the quarterback coach, and Nick Sirianni, all these new guys on the coaching staff. I hope that they can bring it out of this football team as a whole. But that's about all I got to really react to. You know, I'm sad that Carson's gone. That the organization that it has come to this really, but it's a sigh of relief at the same time that with him leaving, we finally have a sense of direction. We finally have a sense of direction outside of all the people in the coaching staff that were brought in. We now have a sense of direction. We now have a quarterback to focus on and look forward to, just advancing in his career, getting better at his weaknesses and showing a little more of what he can do outside of just 4 games being a backup promoted to starter. So so long as Jeffrey Lurie and company believe in Jalen Hurts and want him to be the starter, I mean, it's not exactly concrete until after the draft, in my opinion, unless they come out with a statement in the coming days or next week. I'm sure, I'm sure at some point we're going to have some sort of press conference, maybe, but we'll see. That's all. That's about all I got. Um, Go Birds. This has been Lindy Enzo. I'm signing out.